Scott is here talking about this second wave. Scott, when will that second wave start?
You know, it's going to start between 10 o'clock and midnight in St. Louis, and it's just going to add to what we have right now. And I know some of you, especially east and southeast of St. Louis, are saying, I didn't get much snow. You've been talking about this, and it's just not here. Well, you see out in St. Charles right now, this is Highway 94 going over 70, and the pavement here, you don't see a lot of it. And that's with the crews that have been out there working on that throughout the afternoon. It's really stopped snowing for the most part in this area for quite a while. So what we're waiting on is the next round. And for those of you that didn't see much south and east of St. Louis, or it was mostly that wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet, maybe just a little bit of snow, this next wave is what's going to bring most of your accumulation. So we're all going to still get in on our substantial amounts here across the bi-state area. 20 degrees right now in St. Louis. We've been holding in the upper teens to around 20, watching the first wave slide away, turning our attention to the second wave, which is spreading snow and a mixture of sleet and snow across Oklahoma, and now about ready to cross the border into southwest portions of Missouri. This is our next surge of moisture. It is going to come right up Highway 44 as we go through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, and it is loaded with moisture, which means we're going to see snow heavy at times. And the timing on that starts picking up around midnight, and moderate to heavy snow is likely to continue in through Thursday morning before starting to taper off around noon. So the winter storm warning still in effect for the entire area, and that's going to go into midday tomorrow. Here's our lull. Not much happening now. We're between the waves of moisture. As we head through this evening, here it comes, the next big surge. One thing to note, we're a lot colder right now than we were last night, not only at the ground, but upstairs at cloud level, which means we'll get a lot fluffier snow, which will tend to pile up faster. But we also have a little warm layer down to the south and southeast of St. Louis. So that means there'll be some sleet mixing in Centerville, Ironton, probably to Farmington, over to St. Genevieve, to Nashville, up to Centralia and Salem. Eventually it'll get cold enough there too to switch over to all snow tomorrow morning. But until that time, it's kind of a sleet or a sleet snow mix. And right where it switches over to all snow, that's where the heaviest will actually occur and where you're going to see some pretty big totals. So you're going to see spots down in Jefferson County, Washington, Crawford County here that end up picking up 6, 7, 8 inches of snow, which again brings us back to our original storm map here, forecasting the highest totals north and west and slicing through the metro area, kind of centered around 8 inches, give or take a little bit. And there will be spots that end up with more than a foot. South and east of St. Louis, it looks like you're going to be stuck in that 4 to 8 inches, with some of that being sleet. 24 is where we'll be for the high temperature tomorrow. Winds will be an issue because it's a lighter, fluffier snow. It'll get whipped around by those gusty winds. They could gust to 30 miles per hour. We'll start to see things settle down as we head into Friday, partly cloudy. The weekend looks pretty quiet. Temperatures back close to 40 by Sunday afternoon. But we still have a whole nother stretch to get through later this evening and into tomorrow morning.